Jai Hind viewers, it's my honor today to host Indira Nair, Vice President Sales of Protechmanize Solutions, to the Achievers Articulate in the Global Strategic and Defense News. We'll be discussing success in marketing. Indira is a graduate from Savitribai Phule Pune University. She is a diploma holder in hotel management from Mahatma Gandhi Vidyamandir, Nashik, and is also a certified professional from the prestigious XLRI Jamshedpur. Indira has over 25 years of experience working in the corporate. Welcome, Indira, to the Achievers Articulate.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant Colonel Sodhi. Thank you for bringing me here on your platform. It's an honor to be here, and I'm looking forward to the time spent here.
Thank you, Indira. Indira, my first question to you is, please tell us about your incredible and impressive life journey from being a school kid to now being Vice President Sales of a premier Indian IT company.
Surely. So, Colonel, as you know, I've been born and brought up in Nashik. So I'm the eldest one amongst three siblings that we have. Going back to my childhood days, yes, definitely Nashik being a small town those days, I was born and raised by parents who had a very good, strong background. They've come all the way from Kerala. They've settled in different parts of the country, and then finally they made Nashik as their hometown. So my mum, she was from the army. She was one of the war veterans. The 1971 war veterans. I'm just giving you a brief about my parents. So that's how my mom was, and my father was with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. So giving you a brief about them because they are the ones who've actually made me who I am today. So being the eldest in the family, growing up in an environment for an elderly set of parents, I think a lot of responsibility automatically came onto me. So the maturity happened very early in life, and I was also leading the sibling pack. So somewhere I think the whole of whatever I am today, as a complete package, I would say that it started from the early days. That is back home, and yes, Nashik had very few convent schools at that point in time. I'm referring to almost 35 years old story, because yes, I belong to the set of people who would be touching 50 very soon, so you can imagine. So I'm talking about the era wherein Nashik had very few convent schools, and I was lucky enough to be educated from one of the best convent schools, that's St. Philomena's. So that's where my schooling happened, and I would thank my teachers for recognizing me as who I am. So I was not very great at my studies. It was probably because my parents weren't around, and then I was majorly into tuition classes and all. But what nurtured me into a good professional today is probably because of my active involvement in sports. So I was in sports, in every kind of sports within the school itself. So those days, we never had an exposure of going out and playing internationally or whatever, So especially considering the middle class background that I came up from. So I think the sports actually brought the best out of me, and the school actually brought the best out of me. Being a leader to my own siblings, taking care of them and nurturing them along with an elderly set of parents brought me into whoever the person that I am today. So it's a cumulative experiences, activities, and mentoring from everybody around me at that point in time, which helped me, to come to a stage wherein I can manage things on my own and I can lead from the front. That's what I would say. Because definitely you are calling my journey as an impressive journey, and I feel so that it's become impressive. It's impressive. That's basically because the core element, whatever was there, it just got flourished and nourished over the period of time. So yes, that's how my schooling was. Majorly into sports, majorly into games and other physical activities, and education did preside, but then it was more on the sports front. The focus as an individual, as a young girl, was more towards the sports side. So that's how I was.
Well, that's really fantastic and fabulous, Indra. It was really amazing listening to you. My salute and respect to you and your parents. And I totally agree with you that yes, sports play a very important role in shaping up a person's persona, personality, and playing sports always lays the solid foundation for a successful career and a good life ahead. I totally agree with you.
Absolutely.
Indra, my next
Absolutely.
question to you is that why is it that sales and marketing is regarded as the toughest field in working in the corporate or in any industry?
Okay, great. So every profession has its own, own toughness, to say so. Mental toughness, physical toughness, or whatever. Every domain, every profession has its own. But when it comes to sales and marketing, I think we are a bit ahead when it comes to going through the mental stress and the physical the physical stress as well, because you're literally running you're literally on the field, you're literally running from one client to the other clients, and all these are the basics of the job that it demands. But when it comes to sales and marketing, you hold far more a responsibility than the other groups hold, because the other groups, they have enough time to prove themselves, they have enough time to actually go through the entire journey of their professional life in that particular organization. Whereas with a sales and marketing professional, it is a struggle on a daily basis. So you have to be motivated, you have to be on top of things, you have to be very sure about who your clients are, you have to develop a relationship, you also have to be innovative and creative when it comes to thinking. So sales and marketing, anybody for that matter, be it a male professional or a female professional, the toughness is very much there. It's a everyday competitive test that you go through. It is a everyday, you need to be alert, you need to be on top of a lot of things, and end of the day, you are the major revenue owner of the organization. So whatever you do, however you do, if your bottom line doesn't look good, the career span reduces. So your career span is also based on the success that you dwell on a daily basis. So that's how it is. And being a female professional, it becomes even more difficult in a male oriented domain. I say so because after a certain period, I've noticed there has been a huge drop when it comes to female professionals sticking around in the sales and marketing environment. So people typically, they somehow move out and they get into customer success profiles, or the account management or something else. But then staying in sales and marketing and pushing yourself day in and day out, ensuring that you're on top of the client's mind, ensuring that you have all the product knowledge. And I'm talking about technology here. So when we talk about technology, it's a everyday business. It's so dynamic that you have to at least have a 30K feet altitude knowledge, not a deep dive, but at least a 30K altitude knowledge you must possess about every technology that is being spoken about in the current, IT environment. So you can imagine the stress one goes through. It's like, you have to learn, unlearn, the continuous learning, which we say so, is always there. And there are no perks or appreciations associated to it. You have to get up every morning. You have to do it. You have to be there. You have to keep doing things which consistently you should be doing it. So that's what I wanted to say. And yes, it's a tough job when compared to the other jobs. Not that other jobs are any less tougher. It's just that they have a bit of a longer longevity when it comes to their presence in an organization. Whereas sales and marketing, it has to be, you have to do it right. You have to, even if you're not doing it right, come back again, correct wherever you've gone wrong, and come back stronger again. So revenue is based on your shoulders. You are the one who's carrying the revenue, and you have to ensure the success of the organization is always well maintained. So yes, a tough job, but need to be there.
Indra, very well put, and I couldn't agree with you more because after leaving army, my first job was in a similar role of marketing and business development. So yes, every word what you said is absolutely true. Indra, my next question to you is that you having over 25 years of experience working in the corporate and having worked in Indian MNCs as well as foreign MNCs, what do you feel is the difference in the working culture of an Indian MNC vis-a-vis a foreign MNC?
Yes. So I had a I had an opportunity to work in both the environments. So when I say about foreign MNCs, because that's where my career journey started. So to say so, the foreign MNCs will always have everything structured. They have the people, the processes, the technology, everything in place, So and they have the big fours of the world coming and giving them the advisory or the consulting services. Definitely they have that kind of revenue or funds to spend on. But yes, when you go for an MNCs, everything is well placed out there. You are part of the bigger scheme of things. You're just part of the bigger scheme of things, but then things are much more organized. Things are much more balanced. You have a life balance as well, the work-life balance as well. And then you don't have to worry about the entire revenue structuring and all, I mean, it's just that, you have to do your particular job well, in a particular division, and that division rolls into the higher divisions. So everything is structured. Each and every employee is brought in for a particular reason, and he or she would be performing their set rules. But when it comes to Indian MNC, it is majorly, I won't say that people, process, and technologies are not there in place. It's very much there in place. But then the Indian environment helps you, adapt, accommodate, even, stretch yourself beyond what you are. So personally, if I look at it, I feel that, working in MNC has made me who I am, because it allowed me to stretch, push myself to the edge and ensure that, I'm there and I'm doing the rightful things. So I am not defined by a particular role. I will be wearing a cap of a delivery operations, or I would be wearing a cap of a HR, and probably getting some candidates evaluated, the screening or something, which I will do on my end, and I'll push that resume internally so that they are shortlisted, or they are absorbed by the organization for the rightful position. So these are the things which you typically do when you're in an Indian MNC, because you know what the need of the hour is, you know what the organization wants. You also get the pure visibility of the revenue of your organization, and you know where to tend and accommodate yourself. Larger MNCs or the foreign MNCs, definitely the books of accounts, even if it is there published outright on the internet, but your direct contribution somewhere gets stuck, because you are supposed to be managing your particular role for your particular division. So Indian MNC, you are not defined by the role, you're not defined by a particular domain. You have to do anything, you have to go length and breadth to ensure that the business comes in and the revenue is generated. So that's how I see it. I personally like the Indian MNC because I've got a huge amount of liberty to explore myself, be an important part of the revenue contribution as well. And then I also have a voice on the table when it comes to board meetings and all. So that's where it is. And I feel that's far more interesting for me. It gives me that adrenaline rush, and I know where I need to focus and move forward. So that's how I will put it.
Well, very interesting analysis and comparison. Thank you so much. Indra, my last question to you is that having been such a successful person, having excelled in the life journey, what would be your advice to the youngsters, especially who are on the threshold of starting a new career?
Thank you for calling me successful, because I'm still getting used to that. I've been told by a lot of youngsters as well as my peers, but somewhere I feel that I haven't done enough. I need to still do that bit to reach to that to that peak or a pinnacle of success. I mean, I have a different definition for success. So somewhere I do not, I'm not very comfortable in accepting it as is. But at the same time, I have been into a lot of mentoring when it comes to youngsters. So I was part of a program called Catalyst, wherein we had younger girls, from three-tier villages of Maharashtra itself, and these girls were the first born or the first born educated ones. Forget about being into engineering. They were the first born educated girls from their respective families. And the ones whom I was mentoring, they were from they were part of the engineering. They were into chemical engineering and mechanical engineering. So I was part of the mentoring program for them. So the mentoring program was basically for them to face the world, the corporate world. So while I was doing that, and while raising my own daughter, what I've realized is these kids are very, very smart. They know where to go, they know where the information lies, they know how to research, they know how to take their life forward. So that's one thing which I've noticed, be it from a smaller a smaller city or a village, or a child from from a metro. I've noticed that they're quite equipped when it comes to education. What I feel is that what these children lack is the patience, the persistence, which probably we have, as a elder generation. We have that, and somewhere we were not so equipped with so many available aids. So for us, it was always a struggle to get all those aids, either because of the monetary challenges that we had or the accessibility that we had. But with these kids, everything is in place. The only thing that is missing is staying persistent, staying focused, knowing what is their the core strength. Each and every person has a strength. So I feel that they should look inward, understand what their core strengths are, and not have huge expectations at the start of their career itself. I mean, just recently, almost a year back, when my daughter joined the organization Tata Autocom, she was handpicked from the college because she was one of the merit holders. And within 6 months, she was like, "Mama, मुझे कोई तारीफ नहीं करता है, मैं इतना अच्छा काम कर रही हूँ वगैरह." So because these kids are so used to so many things, so many available aids, so many appreciations coming their way, they think that getting into an organization, they should be appreciated, immediately promoted, immediately given that hike and all. So that's definitely not going to happen. You will have to take your time. You'll have to understand what your core areas are, stay persistent, stay focused, do a lot of networking, stay very, very connected with your immediate leaders, your immediate seniors, bosses and all. Stay connected with them, understand what their thought process is about you. Because you must be thinking that you're a rank holder or you are so-and-so, and you have everything aligned in your in your mind. But that's not the case with your leaders. Your leaders must be expecting something else. So be accommodative, be adaptive, and during this course, you will automatically learn as to what you are good at. So if I go back and if I pick an example, I'll pick my daughter itself. She started her career as a SCM, supply chain management trainee, and then later on she got into marketing and communications because that's where she wanted to be. But she had to go through this journey of SCM to reach there. And thankfully, when she went through this journey, she could see the nitty-gritties of what the entire Autocom business is. So be there, understand the process. Every process has a strong meaning to convey in your work life. So to get into a corporate, to get onto a corporate ladder, you have to follow a certain journey. That pathway is there, and you need to walk on that pathway. There are no shortcuts. आपने कितना भी अच्छा पढ़ाई किया होगा, आपने कितना भी कुछ भी अच्छा किया होगा, but academic and implementation knowledge, they are totally different. So stick around, and then have a work-life balance as well. And at the same time, world doesn't end. अगर आपका corporate में नहीं हो रहा है तो खत्म नहीं होता है. You could be good at confectionaries and bakeries. I mean bakery items or a confectionery, and that is, you would be good at that. You can probably get into that line of business and explore. So there's so many options for these kids. They should not lose heart, is what I say. They should not lose focus. Yes, majority of them are hardworking and smart workers also. So hardworking or smart working, abhi bolne se kuch matlab raha nahi hai. They're good at it. Only thing is that, just have patience and also trust your seniors because they have seen through a lot than what you've seen. Though you would have a lot of process related knowledge or a technology related knowledge because you all are you all are the generation who are born with the technologies, that doesn't mean that your seniors are any lesser. So that's my advice to most of the youngsters that I've been meeting, because somewhere that gap is there, and that's the reason we've been talking about Gen Zs and Gen Ys, so that conversation is happening just because of this gap. So somewhere I feel that, look up to your seniors because they've been there, they've done that almost, and they've done the hard way, not the way you all have done. But at the same time, we also acknowledge that you have a lot of competition in whatever arenas that you have chosen. But stick around, be there, and be persistent, be focused, be patient too, because patience is important, and there's continuous learning as part of growing. आप चाहे सिर्फ एकेडमिक ही नहीं, जिंदगी जीने के लिए भी आपको सीखना ही पड़ता है. लाइफ लेसन्स भी बहुत जरूरी होती है, और लाइफ लेसन्स आपको आगे ही बढ़ाएगी. And the last and the most important thing I want to emphasize is be kind and compassionate, so वो kindness और compassion रहा तो आपकी सारे चीजें आसान हो जाती है, and then you have good circle around you. Your visibility is far more clearer when it comes to life goals. Could be professional, could be personal. Those goals tend to become even more clearer when you have a kind and a compassionate heart, is what I feel. So that's all I want to say to the youngsters. They're already there. They're doing very well. Just have these few attributes to your personality, and I think you will just flourish.
Well, beautifully explained and expressed, Indra. I totally agree with you that the hunger for knowledge and learning should never go down. And one should go slowly, because if one is sure and confident about oneself, definitely there's nothing going to stop from reaching the pinnacles of success. Indra, thank you so much for sparing your valuable time coming and speaking to us on the global strategic and defense news. I'm sure the viewers would have gained a lot, listening to you. Like I have gained a lot listening to you. Thank you so very much once again.
Thank you so much for having me here on your channel, Colonel, and all the very best for the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.